Senator Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations on a marathon close last night at the Judiciary Committee with lots of tough but important privacy-related bills. So, that all makes sense now. Yeah, it all makes sense.
12 hours later, it all comes together.
I mean, only barely, but all right. Well, let me accept the committee amendments to SB 766, and I'm, happy to announce these amendments are expected to move our opposition to neutral, which is very exciting. So this bill seeks to add consumer protections, important consumer protections for car purchasers and car leasers by codifying the FTC's C.A.R.S rule and establishing a cooling off period for used cars. Late last year, the Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit overturned the C.A.R.S rule, but only on administrative grounds. We had many Californians filing comments in favor of the FTC's rule that this bill codifies, including former auto sales personnel, consumers who personally experienced auto scams, our Attorney General, basically this was a look at the pricing and the advertising of cars, and making sure that we try to refine our rules to make them more consumer friendly. So what does the bill seek to do? It would prohibit car dealers from misrepresenting the price of a car, require transparency on the full total price and total payments. It requires the dealers to be transparent about add-on services or features that are optional, and prohibits them from charging for add-ons that will not benefit the consumer. And then it will provide additional protections for members of the military and veterans by prohibiting dealers from misrepresenting affiliation with the U.S. government, state government, local government, or any agency or department, including the Department of Defense. Additionally, there are some limited opportunities for consumers to return a car under current law. Existing law allows for used car purchasers to have the ability to return their car only if they pre-purchase the right to return it. But this requirement is a strong deterrent, and many purchasers are unable to make the additional purchase when they're buying the car. So as to give consumers time to review the purchase agreement carefully and fully inspect the vehicle, the bill, as proposed to be amendment, creates a 3-day cooling off period that doesn't require consumers to pre-purchase the return period, and it would permit dealers to charge a restocking fee. The cooling off period includes some additional guardrails by capping the maximum value of the used car at $50,000. It also caps the mileage a consumer may drive, so that folks don't go on some joyride to Vegas and just effectively rent it for free for a couple of days. So here with me today to testify in support of the bill is Rosemary, who's on behalf of Consumers for Auto Reliability and Safety.
Madam Chair.
2 minutes each when you get a chance.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Rosemary Shahan, President of Consumers for Auto Reliability and Safety. And while we're not the sponsors of the bill, because the author is the sponsor, we've been very active and enthusiastic supporters. And we applaud Senator Allen for authoring this bill. According to the Federal Trade Commission, just the parts of the bill that emulate the FTC C.A.R.S rule are projected to save car buyers $3.4 billion a year and another 72 million hours that they would otherwise spend haggling over the price of cars. So that's a real benefit right there. And then in addition to that, the bill has provisions, as the senator mentioned, for a kind of mini auto escrow period during which at least some consumers will be able to get the car inspected. And it will benefit consumers like William Bradley, who testified before the bill in Senate Judiciary, who bought a car, paid $10,000 plus in cash, was told that although the Carfax report said it had come here from Pennsylvania, that rust was not an issue. And then shortly afterward, he got the car inspected and found out it was so badly rusted, someone had taken duct tape and taped the undercarriage together, that it had major structural damage and made it grossly unsafe. The auto tech said, "I'm not letting you leave the lot in this car." But when he went back to try to get his money back from the dealer said, "Well, you bought it as is, so you're stuck." And I will be thrilled if the bill passes to be able to tell William Bradley that the next time he goes to buy a car, a used car, for under $50,000, if he has a similar experience, he can get a refund without having to get an attorney. It should be a relatively painless process. That's groundbreaking. No other state has done this before. So we really appreciate the chair and the council and their role in bringing about agreements. I'll be honest, we're not going to tout it as like the model because we want to like take it for a test drive, maybe give it a tune-up before we urge other states to adopt similar
Thank you.
legislation. But we really appreciate all the hard work. And especially, I want to recognize Shoshana Levy, who's been amazing to work with and incredibly just smart.
Great.
And hardworking. So,
Okay.
And with that, I'd ask for your aye vote.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Robert Harrell. I'm the Executive Director of the Consumer Federation of California. In strong support, we've been intimately involved all year, along with a few other groups in the negotiations. This is a purchase where there's a major power imbalance between the consumer and the entity they're purchasing it from. And so we wanted to make sure that you'll never be able to fully level that playing field, to be honest. But what you can do is empower consumers to have more opportunities and rights to make sure they're not misled, and make sure that if they didn't get what they thought they were getting, that they can go back. So I just want to thank the Chair and your staff who worked with us intensely over the past week or so. Thank the author. His staff has been fantastic, and the whole team that's been negotiating on this, and we urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here in support of this bill? Come on up. Name, organization, and position.
Good morning, Danny Kaiser with Kaiser Advocacy here on behalf of the National Consumer Law Center, California Low Income Consumer Coalition, and Consumer Reports in strong support.
Good morning, Chair and members. Sosin Madden at W Strategies here on behalf of Unidos US in support.
Thank you.
Good morning, Griselda Chavez with the Mesa Verde Group on behalf of the Consumer Federation of California in strong support as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone here in opposition or tweeners, since I know we have a bit of a no longer opposition situation?
Not a tweener. Kenton Stanhope, Chair and members of the California New Car Dealers Association. Happy to report with the July 14th amendments and then the amendments outlined in the analysis. We will be going from opposed to neutral. Do want to thank the author and his staff, Shoshana, for all their hard work. And a really big shout out to the chairwoman and especially committee staff, Josh Tosney. We wouldn't have landed this plane without your leadership and hard work. It's not even a question. This is the most massive overhaul and consumer protections of all 50 states, and it will be a model for the rest of the nation. I have no question about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members. Mandy Isaacsley here on behalf of Carvana, also echoing our thanks to you, the chair, the committee, the author, and the staff. We are pleased to remove our opposition as well.
Thank you.
John Moffat here on behalf of Enterprise Mobility, similarly situated.
Thank you.
Neil Clark on behalf of Insurance Auto Auctions, also moving to neutral. Thanks for working with us.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, Carlos Gutierrez here on behalf of CarMax, also removing our opposition, moving to neutral, and thank the committee and the Center for all his work. Thank you.
Ashley Hoffman, the Cal Chamber, also moving to neutral. Thank you.
Madam Chair, Chris McKaylee on behalf of the Civil Justice Association of California, moving to no position. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in opposition or any other status, we'll bring it back to the dais. Yeah. We have a motion. Madam Vice Chair?
Well, I'm sitting here in pleasant astonishment. So you have brought the opposing forces together, if I'm understanding these comments together. So I guess I am surprised that in the state of California, there has not been a used car consumer set of laws or law ever? Has there been? Is this the first?
No. But
Regarding to used car sales and returns and that type of thing. But this is new nationally. Is that what I just heard?
We're certainly we're proud of the progress we're making with this bill in terms of consumer protections, and I think we'll see what impact this has nationally. Obviously, the bill's not as strong as it was when we first introduced it, and yet I still believe it's very strong. So, depending on I'll turn this over to our friends who work in the consumer space to answer that question.
Okay, that's a really good question, Assemblymember. And there is a California Car Buyers Bill of Rights that was enacted in 2005 that was a legislative compromise based on a ballot initiative where C.A.R.S had drafted it.
Yeah.
And we ended up with, instead of a cooling off period, we ended up with a 2-day return option that consumers had to purchase in advance, and nobody was getting it, right? So this is very different because this is going to be a 3-day right. Consumers will have that right. And in other states, very often there are used car lemon laws that mandate that dealers have to offer warranties of various lengths depending on the cost of the car or the mileage. We thought instead of that, which you often have to enforce by getting an attorney and going to court, a cooling off period where you could just say, you know what, this isn't working for me. I'd like to take it back and get a refund, would give people the opportunity to get out of a bad deal for whatever reason without having to go through the legal system, not even going through arbitration, but trying to make that as easy and painless as possible.
Well, it makes a lot of sense in that you've brought the stakeholders, the new car, the used car dealers, the consumer group together, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be supporting the bill, and I'm really pleased to see that all forces came together to do good work for our consumers, for all of us. We all will benefit from this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Well, I want to thank you, Senator Allen, and also to your staff and to the staff of the committee. Often we hear, even in what is the last committee, oh, we'll work on it later. And I always think by the last committee, we should have bills in a state that they are ready to be sent to the floor. And you have done that work, and that is clear. And I think it is commendable because you set out with the goal of protecting consumers from, to your point, what can be a really complicated, hard, and large purchase. For many people, this is, they're not homeowners. This might be the largest purchase they make.
Yeah.
And so making sure that they get what they are buying and intending to buy is critical. And so I agree with the now neutral former opposition that I actually do think this is a model. I think you are pushing the boundaries for consumers further than we've seen anywhere in the nation, in the fourth largest economy in the world. You are protecting 40 million consumers. Well, not so many because some of those are kids, but a lot of consumers. And that's really commendable. And I think you should be proud of the product that's coming out of here that will have bipartisan support, that will, I believe, be hopefully signed by the governor and become law for Californians. And so, I commend you on that work. And I think it's work I've seen you do over the years, but you continue to hold strong to your goals and also work with people to make sure it's workable. And that is commendable. So with that, I'm requesting an aye vote. And would you like to close?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I am. You're right. I mean, this is a hard process. This was a much. I'll tell you, the first hearing was not anywhere near as pleasant. And because we wanted to make real change in this area, and yet our friends in the opposition have important business model that they seek to protect for all sorts of good reasons. And so there's so many thank yous to give, and I hope you just indulge me. First of all, Madam Chair and the committee staff for helping to really bang heads together at the end. And I think we were getting closer and closer through committee, but to land this deal was incredibly important. And your leadership in that effort was really, really valuable. And I just continue to your staff is legendary. It was at the heart of a bunch of the tough bills last night too. I know, and I just want to recognize that. Robert and the folks at the Consumer Fed, Rosemary, who's such a legend in this area, Rosemary Shahan, who's been working so hard on consumer protections in this space for so long. Just thank you for sticking with us through this whole process. And I know it wasn't easy, and you've been our kind of moral guiding star in this effort. Obviously, my friends in the opposition who've now gone to neutral, thank you for working so hard with us to get there. So many of you I see in the room, and a couple that aren't here, Anthony and others, but just appreciate the hard work we all did together to get this landed. And then, of course, I do want to just especially highlight the extraordinary work of Shoshana Levy. So much of our work, members, is done by our staffs who make us look good. And Shoshana, Rosemary's absolutely right. Brought intelligence, determination, patience. I know she spent just this last weekend entirely working on this, and it was just the most recent of many, many weekends. So I just want to thank you, Shoshana, for your hard work on this really important bill that's I think, going to make a big difference for consumers. So thank you, members. Thank you for recognizing all the work that went into this and everyone coming together for something that I think is going to be good for fellow Californians. So with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. And if you'll indulge me also, I want to thank I failed to mention that the former opposition, they really came to the table. And totally. I do think that is what we should hope for in this building is they showed that they cared equally about their consumers and that they wanted to move the ball forward in a way no one else had. And I know it wasn't always easy and didn't land exactly where it started or where maybe you would have wanted, but they absolutely came in good faith and worked really hard. And that is important to commend that. And I hope more opposition will do that.
And we feel really good about where the bill is. And,
Yes. So we have a motion. Do we have a second? Let's call the roll.
Item number 2, SB 766 by Senator Allen. The motion is due pass as amended. Bauer Cahan. Aye. Bauer Cahan, aye. Dixon. Aye. Dixon, aye. Bryan. DeMaio. Irwin. Aye. Irwin, aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Lowenthal, aye. Macedo. Macedo, aye. McKinner. Ortega. Patterson. Pellerin. Aye. Pellerin, aye. Petrie Norris. Ward. Aye. Ward, aye. Wicks. Wilson.
Thank you, members. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That bill has 7 votes. It will stay on call until we get our members back that are all over the building. We have no